quite, don't know if you guys know him, but Kitaro, who's like a new age guy from Japan, he's pretty much the master of that stuff, but I'm quite a fan, and I was listening to a lot of his stuff when I came up with this one. Even the title kind of sounds like something that, you know, could have been on his Mandela album, possibly, or a lot of them. I just very inspired by his melodies. It's awesome stuff. When I do my songs at home, like I'd put the drum sound on the Casio and kind of, I'll try and get this in shot, but I'm pretty much on the keys, kind of. I've done my guitars already for the track and the bass and everything, solos, vocals, maybe, and the drums would usually be last, so I'd have the drum tones and I'd be going boom, psh, boom, boom, psh, boom, psh, boom, boom, psh, and even a ride cymbal with, you know, one of these fingers. Got quite good at that at the end, but not the best way to do it, but it served its purpose. But the cool thing was, doing it for the album, just hearing it come to life when Szkup drummed on it. He was going to throw in some fills there for a moment, but he ended up just, you know, locking in. And that was what it needed, you know, that was just laying down the smack. That was awesome. So that's how she stayed, First Blood. Starting to get into more classic rock kind of stuff, and starting to explore that a little bit, which I don't know if every 16-year-old is like that, but I sure was, and just wanted to write something in that style. So this is like the first one that I did. I've done a couple since, but this is the first one, and this was one of the tracks that we, before the session, we banged a few of these out in Dale Brewer's lounge room at the time, which was cool. It was had a really fun vibe to those couple of days. You know, good band sort of vibe that we had going. What to say about that song? The inspiration for it came from going into my day job, and the radios would be on there, but there are some cool radio stations, but they don't play them at my work. So you get this, you guys know what it's like, the DJ with his cheesy voice, which that's a line out of the song, but it just seemed like, you know, every day at say 8:05, you know, this certain Pink song is always on, and at 10 past, you know, whatever it was, that next song, it's always on at that same time of day. And I just started to kind of laugh at that a bit to myself, and I remember recording a demo of this in that place that I mentioned where I lived, and it was 3 levels, paper thin walls, 15 places on each level, and everything echoed because there was a massive courtyard. But anyway, didn't want to upset too many people there because, yeah, if I get booted, you know. So, but I'm a songwriter, so living in a place like that, what do you do? So I had me 4-track and me acoustic. I'd play the guitar tracks fairly light, then go back and get the mic and just kind of talk the vocals for the track to get the idea down on the demo. And that was how I remember doing this song, and that would have been the one that I sent to Szkup. Tried to make it be exciting, I guess, you know, being that long, but pretty happy with the result, so hopefully I succeeded there. Cool thing recording the guitar solo for this one, we had a couple of guitars at the studio that belonged to Paul Byrne, who's a good friend of Stu's, and we kind of knew him as well through working at Solder's Sound Centre down in Tasmania. But yeah, he popped in one day and he said, you know, knock yourself out, use the guitars if you like, which was cool. Strats, Les Pauls, Explorers, hell yeah. So we had his Joe Perry Les Paul for this track, for the solo. And I remember pretty much doing a take, which I didn't even know that we were rolling. I guess I was off with the fairies, as I so often am, and didn't realise that we were actually rolling. So the solo spot came up, and as far as I knew, it was just a practice run, and I was kind of walking back. I was going to sit down and play the part sitting down, which I usually do as well. So I'm kind of walking back as the solo is running, and I'm playing just something, and it ends. It felt okay, and at the end of it I kind of just went something like that, and I remember Szkup and Stu just going exactly like that. So yeah, we played it back, and holy shit, it's one of my favourite solos I've ever done. It's sitting there unused for ages, and eventually I kind of, not sure why, but I just figured, what if I put another song in there instead of a solo? Like, why should it be a solo as such, you know, verse, chorus, solo? Which, yeah, sometimes we fall into that kind of formula, which we probably shouldn't. And when I had that idea, I thought, yeah, that's a nice way to break out of it, possibly. So that whole, it's almost like a metal reggae or something. That was something totally different, which came about from jamming with Szkup and Kolsky, and we happened to be rolling tape at the time, and it was my 4-track that we were using. So later I heard it and went, yeah, that, cool. Threw it all together, and came out pretty well, and seems to be a favourite from the album for a fair few people. So that's cool. Yeah, really happy with it, and always fun to be doing trade-off solos with my brother Szkup on that, which, you know, we always used to do in Jigsaw, and yeah, I want to do that with my stuff all the time. It's really good. Probably the thing to note with it is just had some lyrics in there from my mate Clint Reed. He used to send me these writings because you know, he was in Melbourne, I was in Hobart for a bit. Then I finally moved to Melbourne, and then he went back to Hobart. Who could blame him, really? But yeah, we used to do some letters, and he'd send me these writings, and he'd tell me to go for it if I wanted to use any of it in a song. And one day I happened to be missing some lines in a song, didn't have a title at the time, and I just happened to try one of his sheets, and the lines went straight in there, so that was awesome. And it really, I wasn't sure about the words at the time, but put those ones in, and it just seemed complete. As far as the music goes, very inspired by the Bumblefoot album Uncool from around that time. Real experimental, and just kind of led me to, you know, trying to have a couple of genres maybe within the one song instead of it being the same from way to go. Really like that idea, and that album's awesome. Still love it. Check it out. But this was another one that we banged out in Dale Brewer in his lounge room. The three of us just bashing away as a trio, cranking it up. Very cool. Awesome bass lines from Dale too. in the quiet section. And at the end, man, the drums, bang, bang, bang. The vocals too, especially Dale's vocals at the end there, it's really going for it. Real fun to do. I really like that tempo, sort of rocking kind of tempo to play in. And because this was, I guess, the first music that I'd really done since Jigsaw was active, I wanted to have something in one of the titles, or a lyric maybe that referenced that whole period, which was where the title for this song came from, being that the Jigsaw album was called Eat Pop Slop, and it was a bit of a catchphrase for us in that band, and that was where that came from. The song itself is inspired by all kinds of things. Kitaro, obviously, for the mellow stuff, and again the Bumblefoot uncool idea of just a few styles within the one song. I guess the only other thing with the song too, which was another good example of not, the song's done when it's done kind of thing. Not worried about doing too many tracks or what anyone thinks. I've got the boy again. Yeah, it's done when it's done. So the Tribal Chants, we had a couple of tracks down, but my demo at home, I bounced tape and it really got quite huge, so I wanted it to sound like it was an actual tribe, and with the drumming as well, that was kind of part of the title. But I think we ended up doing about maybe 7 or 8 tracks of the tribal stuff, which was good fun to do as well.